Coming up tonight, the Nassau Cruise Port is definitely kicking it up a notch entertainment-wise. The plan is to open doors to Bahamians. Plus, we're on the road to 50. The Independent Secretariat is embracing our #1 culture. Code words: rush, sip, and paste. Our birthing McDermott was there. Stay close for that. And to Fathers with Love, our Italia Hall went into a kitchen to see what's cooking for Father's Day. All of that is straight ahead as Our News Weekend starts now. This is Our News Weekend. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm Megan Shepard. This summer, the Nassau Cruise Port is looking to kick it up a notch in the entertainment department. CEO Mike Morris says the port has been using the past 3 weeks to fine-tune its operations, and come next weekend, the port will be opening its doors to Bahamians.
Because of changes in traffic flows, both for vehicles and pedestrians, from a health and safety perspective, we needed some time to kind of monitor to see how that was going, and we have made tweaks, and we're changing some of our fencing configurations and so forth. But the good news is that on June 24th, we will officially open to the Bahamian people. And so on that day, we have Antonius Roberts is having an art exhibition as well in the art gallery that's on property. We will have an evening of jazz on the green, so the amphitheater will be programmed with music, with a number of different jazz elements happening there. We will have other folks that are coming in to help program the space to make it interesting and exciting. But we hope people come and visit.
Morris says there are 5 main cruise lines that regularly call on the cruise port. But since the multi-million-dollar upgrades, there has been even greater interest from smaller cruise lines and charter cruises. The main attraction, the amphitheater.
What they've done is they've reached out to us and they said, hey, can we on berth #1? And what we'd like to do is have that entertainment take place on your amphitheater, because actually they can have one performance and satisfy the entire population of the ship. So that is something, and obviously we'd be working with the musicians unions and so forth to make sure all, T's are crossed and I's are dotted to make all that happen.
The cruise port CEO says he's most excited about the launch of the entertainment program.
It is our intent that every weekend there's something special happening around our amphitheater where we're using and engaging and partnering with Bahamian entertainers to get on stage and offer something different that's happening on a Friday night or a Saturday and a Sunday, so that you may not be up to date in terms of what's happening at Nassau Cruise Port, but something is happening at Nassau Cruise Port. You're going to try to find out what it is all about.
CEO of the Nassau Paradise Island Tourism Board, Joy Gibralou, admitting that it is still difficult to find people who are interested in moving to the Family Islands to work in the hospitality sector.
But it's incumbent upon us to demonstrate the opportunities that exist. Oftentimes, people don't want to go because they don't see the opportunity to grow their career, to advance their career. But these scholarships that we're awarding, it's for every Bahamian. So whether they're coming from deep south in Agua or Mayaguana, or the north like Abaco, Bimini, or Grand Bahama, everyone will have an opportunity. We have hotels in all of these islands, and all of them need managers. They all need managers in every level.
She says the board has been working on a number of initiatives, adding that JetBlue's recent announcement on their direct flight from Los Angeles to Nassau in November is good news.
Our hotel partners are so excited at that opportunity because it opens up the whole of the West Coast. But that's only the beginning. We continue to be in constant dialogue with our partners to grow the destination, to do everything that we can to support them, to ensure that the level, the occupancies that we're seeing now, the interest in Nassau Paradise Island, that all of that continues.
Meantime, police are looking into an early morning shooting resulting in the death of a man believed to be in his early 20s. This taking place in a Haitian village in the Cowpen Road area. Chief Superintendent of Police Michael Johnson was on the scene and provided this update.
Sometime shortly after 7 a.m. this morning, persons contacted the police control room from this Haitian village just off Cowpen Road and reported finding a male unresponsive. The police responded and discovered that there was a male in a one-room shack in this Haitian village with a wound to the body consistent with gunshots.
Police are appealing to residents, specifically those in that community, to contact police with any information. Johnson said there was very little to go on, noting the language barrier is posing a challenge. Police believe the incident occurred around 4 o'clock this morning.
We believe that this incident happened early this morning, around 4 a.m. or shortly thereafter. Persons did hear a gunshot in this area, and he wasn't discovered until after 7 this morning. He appears to be in his mid-20s. Again, he's a Haitian national.
Deputy Prime Minister and Exuma's and Ragged Island MP Chester Cooper is hitting back at critics who believe he should have missed his recent trip to Los Angeles after flooding damage to multiple homes on Exuma. Cooper traveled to Los Angeles in his capacity as Minister of Tourism. When asked to respond to criticism following a post-flood assessment, Cooper said this.
I don't follow up nonsense criticisms. Firstly, let me say that. Exuma knows where my heart is. They know that I don't just talk love, but I show love. They understand that I've been involved in the very early stages of mobilizing the resources, speaking with the Defense Force, the Ministry of Works, local government.
During his mission, Cooper made multiple appearances and met with the principals of Netflix to discuss the possibility of Bahamian films being shared there. The tourism minister says the success of that mission will be positive for Exuma and the entire Bahamas.
I think it's a positive that we can walk and chew gum at the same time. So the reality is we've had a very successful mission that's going to be net positive for the people of Exuma and the people of the Bahamas. We've been able to do significant work in promoting our country. That will mean that when the flood goes, business will come. So the reality is that, we have to keep moving with all cylinders, and that is what we've done.
Still to come on Our News Weekend, we rushing through the crowd to sip and paint. This is the Road to 50. And still on the road to 50, an environmental cleanup is underway. That's coming up when Our News Weekend returns.
Whether you're battling a chronic condition or offsetting a new injury, Doctors Hospital's comprehensive rehab services offer the help you need now. 3 advanced facilities at Collins Avenue, Carmichael Road, and Cable Beach means your personalized plan for care is just a visit away. From physiotherapy to occupational therapy and speech and language pathology, our team approach is all about rebuilding together. For a full list of services, visit doctorshosp.com/rehabilitation. Doctors Hospital, trusted and best care now. Isn't your health worth it?
Welcome back. You've heard of Sip and Paint? Well, now it's time for the Independence Rush Sip and Paste. It's another event on the Road to 50 celebrations where Bahamians got to celebrate Bahamian culture. Our Berthany McDermott was there enjoying the event. Here's his story.
The Independence Secretariat hosting the Rush Sip and Paste, which infuses Bahamian culture into the event. Host and Public Relations Officer Kentany Campbell-Moss explains the event.
When you think about 50 years of celebration, looking at the amalgamation of where we would have started from with sponge and newspaper to where Junkanoo is today, what else could we have done other than a rush, sip and paste? This is a monumentous occasion. We've incorporated the culture of the Commonwealth of the Bahamas. Nothing is greater than Junkanoo, and we are doing it in grand style out here this evening. We have somebody here that can teach you how to ring cowbells. We have somebody that can show you the routine of drumming, someone that can walk you through choreographed dancing, all of the aspects of what Junkanoo truly is.
The event is just one of many on the road to the 50th Independence celebration in July. The event drew many Bahamians who were excited for the opportunity.
Well, I haven't missed an event as yet, so a lot of you Bahamians out there, y'all should recognize this place. Being here to the Sip and Paint and leading up to the 50th anniversary mean a lot to me. Junkanoo is our culture and I'm a Bahamian.
because we're such a fantastic junket organization. We are developing persons and helping them to be able to pace, helping them be able to build costumes, with everything culture. That is what we are presenting here.
The event saw multiple Bahamian vendors offering many different products. They tell our news that they're grateful for the opportunity to not only celebrate Bahamian culture, but to be able to put their products on display as well.
It's a wonderful opportunity, a great privilege to get yourself out there, get companies out there, and we thank the committee for giving us this opportunity to be able to share.
It means a lot. I'm able to now share my recipes with to be brought with my customers, and everybody gets to get a piece of a cookie. Because if you're craving a cookie, you got to come to craving a cookie.
Reporting for our news, I'm Berthany McDermott.
Nassau is about to get a lot cleaner thanks to the Road to 50 National Beautification campaign, which kicked off this week. Our Marlena Leonard has more on the cleanup efforts, as well as the heightened attention to environmental lawbreakers in this report.
If you've noticed the downtown area looking cleaner than usual, it's probably because this week marked the start of Phase 1 of the Road to 50 National Beautification campaign, led by the Ministry of Environment and the Department of Correctional Services. Environmental Minister Vaughn Miller.
The team will place emphasis on overgrown open spaces and lots, as well as additional environmental remedial works, including the removal of accumulated bulk waste, derelict vehicles, and the whitewashing of abandoned buildings. Following the whitewashing of these structures, young artisans in the various communities will be encouraged to apply murals of community leaders and other national symbols.
Miller looks back to cleaner days in New Providence, hoping we can restore that kind of cleanliness in the city.
We want to make our island clean again, the way it used to be. I grew up and I was looking over, and a lot of you may be too young to remember this, but it was an adage, was simple: cleanliness is next to godliness. And we believed it, and we did it.
The Department of Corrections has allocated 50 inmates to do work for the campaign. Acting Commissioner of Corrections Don Clear says the collaboration is part of their efforts to put more of a focus on rehabilitation of inmates to set them up for success upon release.
What we are doing now, we are now putting them into a program called the Inmate Industries Program. They will give the inmate a small stipend. So upon their release, they will have something to take home. But during this process, inmates will be responsible for initial cleanup, sustained cleanup, and also a part of that process, we have carpenters, mason, plumbers, who will be doing repairs as they go along.
The campaign will also include the demolition of some derelict buildings, but Miller says it's not just about beautification, promising environmental lawbreakers will be punished as part of the campaign.
Officers of the Department of Environmental Health Services, DEHS, will also take action to prosecute property owners who are in breach of our environmental legislation.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Marlena Leonard.
Thanks, Marlena. When Our News Weekend comes back from the break, Canoe is living up to its corporate responsibility. Stay close. And swimming nationals are taking place. Our Sasha Lightbourne is at the Betty Kelly Kenning Aquatic Center. She has stats when we return from the break. Welcome back. The Bahamas Swim Nationals competition is going on this weekend, but as with any major sporting event in the country, the meet wouldn't be possible without its corporate sponsors. One of this weekend's meet sponsors is Canoe. Canoe chairman Nicholas Reese spoke to Our News about why it's so important for his company to give back.
One of the core foundational values of Canoe is to support the youth, and the youth specifically through sports. We believe that sports gives young persons an opportunity to excel, to learn values of discipline, character building, skill sets that translate into life. and into business. And so I see it also as an opportunity for exposure, to get out the country, to get an education, to get scholarships.
And Reese, a former Olympic swimmer for the country, says swimming has advanced by leaps and bounds since he last competed competitively.
We're literally out of pool space in the country. Like there's no more pool space for for kids to practice, which is a good problem to have, which shows that there's a lot of interest, a lot of growth, not just at the base level, but also at the top. We've got kids like Lamar Taylor, Marvin Johnson. These kids are amazing. They're gonna go very far. Caden Wells. These are all future Olympians. I mean, and to be able to see them here, in this form and fashion, it's a unique opportunity and experience, and I can see where these kids are going to go.
Heading into day 3 of the Bahamas National Swimming Championships, and the Mako Aquatic Swim Club still leads all 17 participating clubs. But last night's session saw records broken and more gold medals handed out. Our Sasha Lightborn was there.
Day 3 began this morning at 9 a.m., but the top 3 clubs remained the same. At the end of Day 2, Mako Aquatic Swim Club had 1,299 points, Barracuda Swim Club 766 points, and Alpha Aquatics with 713 points. One of Mako's elite collegiate swimmers, Lamar Taylor, broke the national record in the boys 18 and over 100-meter backstroke. He spoke to us about the race.
I was talking to my coach before it started, just on how I wanted to swim it, how I wanted to execute it. This morning, I told him, when I swim it tonight, I want to take it out that first 50, work my underwaters, come up, pop at the 25, and then just stay strong and pull and try to keep as much of my stroke as I can. And like I said earlier in the earlier interview, this meet really is just a practice meet.
Other gold medal winners in the 100-meter backstroke included Kiana Moss, David Singh, and Ellie Gibson.
It was a very good race. I went best time again since 2019, so very, very proud. I had my teammate next to me, Elsa Berg. She's like a baby sister to me, and she really pushed me throughout the race, and I'm just proud that we were able to get 1-2.
The race was good. I had a good start, good finish. The only thing that was bugging me is the heat. It was really hot.
My start was good, but it wasn't as good. I came up in second, and I just swam them down, and I came back dead, really hard. It was really painful.
The evening started with the official opening ceremonies, where Prime Minister Philip Davis gave this word of advice to all swimmers.
Swimmers, the time is ripe to secure that personal best. I believe in you. Your family believes in you. All that's left is to believe in yourselves, and there will be no limit to what you can achieve. Who knows? When the next Olympic comes around, it may be your turn to represent the Bahamas on the world stage. I take this opportunity to now declare the 51st Annual National Swimming Championships open.
Now, nationals will continue tomorrow at the Betty Kelly Kenny Aquatic Center, with a morning session beginning at 9 a.m. and the final session of the championships beginning at 6 p.m. Reporting for Our News, I'm Sasha Lightborn.
They say your gifts will make room for you, and for 25-year-old Terrence Colbrook, that biblical saying has been proving true. He is the founder of TC Films and Brethren Records. The creative is a content creator in all forms, bringing a concept or idea to life through various digital mediums.
That encompasses video production, photography, graphic design, animation, basically the full suite I kind of bring into one. So just over time, just starting off, like I said, as a hobby, I would just learn things for fun. So I dabble in editing softwares, I dabble in Photoshop, I dabble in, like I said, photography, video, anything that I could do just to occupy my time, I did. And I find that over time, all of these skills just marinated into one thing that kind of makes my product a little unique.
And from that journey of high school hobby to the professional world, making a name in the industry, both locally and internationally, Colbrook shares one of the highlights of his career thus far.
Going on tour back in 2019 with Najee then, it was a tour alongside DDG. I think that was my pivotal point where it was like, okay, wow, I feel like I inside the movies now, like how they kind of have the green room with the artists, so you're seeing these big celebrities and you kind of going back stage to stage, city to city. So it's like really just living that lifestyle to feel like, wow, I kind of actually achieving something here now.
Colbert says the greatest challenge he's had to overcome was himself, learning to shift his inner thoughts and perspectives.
Not kind of looking at things from a perspective of, could I do this, or am I good enough to do this, or do I have the right tools to do this, but more so looking at it from an aspect of, I could do this is how I do it, and this is how I'm going to approach this situation to make sure that I can execute it.
But what keeps the content creator going is the journey toward excellence. He says the goal is consistent learning, growth, and pushing the standards. Here's what you can look forward to from his brand in the years to come as he continues his journey of growth.
Me being so diverse in the field now, I want to not just kind of solely always be behind the camera or always be behind editing, but I want to be able to kind of oversee all of those different departments and just kind of like let my ideas flourish and bring them to life. For me, doing it so long by myself, it's cool. I move at a nice pace, I move at a nice tempo, I like it. But I realize having a team is so much more effective sometimes in certain situations, so I'm looking forward to that.
And for other creatives looking to make their mark in the industry, he shares this bit of advice.
I had good accolades in school, but I wasn't nowhere near the type to say, I want to go to college. I didn't know what I want to do. I had small hobbies, but it wasn't as if like, okay, I had my life figured out. It was just something that I picked up and I started, and I found something that I became good at. So what I would say to persons is, don't feel as if you have to have it all figured out. Like that little hobby that you have, that little skill that you may have, the little talent that you may be able to draw, don't feel that you have to be at a certain point to get started. Start where you are and just perseverance, and over time you'll find that you could achieve something pretty dope.
Well, it is hot and wet outside. The weather report is coming up to let us know exactly how hot it is. Stay close. And Father's Day is tomorrow. What are our fathers eating? Will it be crab and rice or something else? The Skinny on Father's Day dinner is just on the other side of this break. Stay with us. Thanks for sticking with us. Integrity is not a conditional word. It doesn't blow in the wind or change with the weather. Let's see what's changing with the weather over the next few days. Well, Father's Day is now only a few hours away. Our Italia Hall recently spoke with a well-known chef and caterer in Grand Bahama who says it's important that fathers are shown love and appreciation this Father's Day with a freshly cooked meal.
Meet Pamela Lang, the owner of Pam's Kitchen in Freeport, Grand Bahama. Lang, along with her husband Ozzy Lang, has been cooking hot meals for years. But as Father's Day approaches, she's sharing a few meal ideas. She says instead of the traditional crab and rice, there's another type of rice you can make.
You could take it to another level. There's the meat, like I said, there's the meat rice. But you could put in all the different meat, the conch, the pigtails, the salt beef, and all of that. And if you want to do, you can do like the salad, like a veggie garden salad. You can do, like some persons love like macaroni. You can even change the macaroni around a bit. And then you can do like a nice garden salad.
And she says a Father's Day meal is not complete without a side of coleslaw.
Nice zesty flavor. You add a little of vinegar into your coleslaw, a little bit of lemon juice into your coleslaw, a little bit of salt. And there you get your nice zesty coleslaw with a little bit of, some persons normally put a little bit of onion in it.
As for potato salad, Lang says wash your potatoes first, boil and strain them, and be sure to let them cool.
After it is cool, you're going to add the mayo, mustard, give it a nice, yellowy, fluffy taste. And to give it a nice boost, you can add some Parmesan cheese also in your potato salad to give it a nice taste, and also a little bit of sugar.
And as for the way to a man's heart, she says the answer is food.
It's special to us to make sure our male figure in our family, make sure they're okay and we treat them well. I know we had the best father in the world. He's deceased now, and my husband has had the best father. Both of them are now deceased. But many times the mothers, we get all the accolades and we get all of this. But here in the background, the fathers there, they're pushing. Yeah, I do what I do because of him. If he was not backing or pushing me, I would not be able to get up here every morning, every day, and cook.
Reporting for Our News Weekend, I'm Natalia Hall.
Looks absolutely delicious. And thank you for joining us for Our News Weekend. On behalf of our producer and the entire technical team, I'm Megan Shepard. Enjoy the rest of your weekend.